Hello everyone, welcome to this new video about the noise library. In this video we will learn how to use Isara noise library and how to use example available on our website. First of all, I have created an empty project in 424, sorry, and in plugins I enable the noise library and then I will restart the editor. In the meantime, I will go to the Isara Docs website. Okay, the link is on the marketplace page of our plugins, and you want to carefully read this documentation before playing with the noise library. And we have a section with some example, and we will try today to use these examples. Okay, so let's download the example module.zip here. I have already downloaded it here and extracted it, and I will open my content folder here, show in Explorer. Okay, and I will paste the content of module example.zip into my content folder. Okay, and here appears my blueprints, my example blueprints. So let's see if it works. I will delete it and I'll move into the module example folders, and let's try with two-dimensional generators, for example a Brownian example, and let's simulate. Okay, this is a two-dimensional Brownian noise. We can paste other kinds of noise, for instance here, and let's play. Okay, here we have a sphere example, here we have a checkerboard, here we have not sure, it could be cylinders, and here we have, oh no, it's a sine, and here we have the rigid multi. Okay, these are 2D generators. We can use 3D generators, for example a sphere, for example a sine, a Voronoi. Okay, we can see patterns on the spheres example, we can see patterns on the cylinders example. If we watch this way, okay, we can see cylinders, we can see patterns with a checkerboard, but it's a little bit more complicated to see patterns on a Brownian or on a Voronoi, on a Berlin. Okay, it's harder. Good. Let's continue with other generators. We have created some 2D movements and some procedural mesh. Let's see about procedural mesh. In this example, we create a procedural mesh using these modifiers. Okay, here it's a very simple blueprint behind this code. It's simply a procedural mesh in, for instance, 100 points in X and 100 points in Y, and then we connect all these points together to create triangulate, and with this triangulation we have a kind of landscape, a little landscape. Then we have added grass material, and here we have a little landscape. Okay, we have also a Voronoi. Okay, we can see here on the Voronoi we can see some hills and some mountains. Okay, we have spheres. Okay, we have a moving purlin. It's simply a noise shifted at a regular time. Okay, that's why it looks like we move on the landscape, but this is a noise which is shifted at each frame. It's a little bit shifted on the left, and that's why it looks like the purlin is moving. Okay, let's have a look about 2D movement, which are about the same. Okay, it's not shifted noise, but it's a noise which is updated at each frame. We have the same on the cylinder. Okay, and we have this kind of modifier which is an addition of cylinders and purlin noise. Okay, and finally we can see the Voronoi, a particular usage of the Voronoi modifier created to simulate house placement in a neighborhood, for example. Okay, it's like every cube is a house, and this way we can create some neighborhood easily. We still have some issues. For example, here we have 3 houses colliding, but with some little tweakings we can see we can create easily a neighborhood using the noise library. Now let's see how to edit our example in order to create your own example. Let's tweak a procedural mesh, for example. The below. Okay, here. Okay, so first you just have to duplicate an existing blueprint with my modifier, my noise. Okay, in my noise we have a little simple code which simply spawn a new 2D mesh noise, which is a blueprint available here. It's a simple blueprint to create a procedural mesh. You can easily copy and paste it and adapt it for your project. And then once this 2D mesh noise created, we call a function on it to construct a procedural mesh from a module. Here the module is a sphere. We can, for instance, create let's see what kind of module we have. We can use a sphere, cylinders, checkerboard. Let's see a checkerboard with a higher frequency, for instance 20. Okay, we can have a bigger size, we can have a bigger scale. Okay, and then let's try it. Oh no, mistake, it's not here, my noise. Okay, and we have a beautiful checkerboard procedural mesh. Okay, now we can trick this checkerboard using, for instance, a little purlin. We can add a purlin noise. Purlin here, and we can create a higher frequency and higher linearity. Okay, and we can add these two noise, and the result is a checkerboard with some variation. Okay, a little noise on it. Okay, but that's not useful at all. For instance, let's create landscape generator, a little landscape generator. Okay, my landscape. Our landscape will be created using procedural mesh, so it can be easily edited at runtime. And here, to create my landscape, I want a hill in the center of the landscape, so let's create it with a sphere modifier. If I try it, okay, so the sphere modifier, here we can see there is a sphere here. I don't want this sphere to be here, but I want to be centered on my landscape. So I have to shift using the shifter module. Okay, and I have to shift 0505. Okay, in order to center my sphere, and I can increase the frequency. Okay, to center. Okay, that's it. My sphere modifier is centered inside my mesh, but I don't want so much frequency. Let's see. Okay, it's better. Here, it's my global shape of my landscape. I can have a little mountain at the center of my landscape and a large mountain at the periphery of the landscape. Okay, this is a good start. Now let's add some noise, a little Voronoi, for instance. Okay, a little Voronoi with a high frequency, for instance 10, and I'll add these two noise to add some movements on my landscape. This is it. Okay, we can see the global shape. We can still see here we have the main sphere, and then we have a little dip, and then we have mountains. Okay, with some Voronoi to add a macroscopic shape of my landscape. And finally, why don't add a purlin noise with a higher frequency again, and add it. Okay. Now I can see my purlin is too heavy for my other modifier, so I will multiply this noise with a constant noise 0.1 in order to decrease the weight of my purlin noise. Okay, here this is much better. I will also multiply my Voronoi with a little const in order to decrease his weight. 5. Okay. Okay, that's much better. Okay. And now I can improve the size, for instance 200 multiplier and I have a big landscape. I will simply increase the Z in order to have higher mountains. Okay. And here I have a simple landscape. Okay. Can change the material. For instance, let's add grass. Oh, doesn't like. Okay. Okay. We can now simply add a 3D, a first person or a third person blueprint feature. Okay. I can add a third person character here. I can oh yes, of course, there is no collision on my landscape. So in order to do this, you can easily edit the 2D mesh noise here in order to create collision here. Okay, and here I am on my auto-generated landscape easily. Okay, I hope this video will help you to create some procedural landscape or procedural mesh using our noise library, and let us know if you need any help. Goodbye.